Well, hey there, and welcome to my channel. My name is Crafty Kathy. I'm the owner and creator of Kit's Vintage Farmhouse in beautiful Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I am just tickled pink that you stopped in to craft and spend a little time with me today. Now, you guys have really been liking those Dollar Tree hack DIY videos, so that's what we're going to do today. And today we're going to do it on baskets. I hope you really like it. If you do, please give me the big thumbs up, that's the like button, because it really helps me out on YouTube. It helps them to push my videos out there to people who've never seen my content before, and I am so grateful every time that you do that for me. Also, don't forget to hit that little red subscribe button and become a part of our family. You know I want you to be a part of our family. But without further ado, let's get into the video. And we're going to use two of these baskets, and we're going to go with the lighter colors here because that's the ones that I got the most of actually. I'm just going to cut the tags off of these, and on the tags they just say woven basket, and yes, they are only $1.25 a piece. And so what I did was I grabbed some of these little snowmen. Do you guys remember back at Christmas time the little wood pieces that were snowmen? But we've been using them for legs. I got a million packages of these back at Christmas so I could use them specifically for legs on little risers and stuff like that. Well, that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to grab my Titebond Quick and Thick, which is a wood glue, and I thought it would be perfect to pair some of that along with just a little bit of hot glue. Now, it takes a little bit for that Quick and Thick to set up, but while it's setting up, that hot glue is going to hold it in place so that it will dry beautifully. And so what I did was take 4 of these little wooden pieces and I just matched them up on the bottom to the best of my ability so that this little basket is going to stand up and it's going to be cute as a button. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple of months back at the Dollar Tree, they had these candlesticks, and they were 3 different sizes. There was a small, medium, and large, and I actually picked the smallest one, and I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did before with that Titebond wood glue and put it halfway around and use the hot glue so that it would hold it for now. I put the smallest end down inside my basket, and the larger end is up in the air. And then I'm going to do the same thing once again with the glue and then the hot glue. And I rubbed it in with my finger because to me, it seems like it just gets on there a little bit better because that surface is so small. So I went all the way around that top half with that, and then the other half I did with the hot glue. And I simply take my other little basket and I'm just going to set it right down square on top of that. Now, if any of your glue kind of seeps out, just wipe it off with your finger. I took this outside and I spray painted it with my favorite spray paint, which is Rust-Oleum 2x in the color Coastal Sage. Then I styled it with some lamb's ear and eucalyptus from Walmart and a candle that I had decoupaged earlier. I hope you like this one.
Jump around when I think about yesterday. Your smile, your style so fly, my oh my. As time stood still, I got the urge to steal a kiss, and so I did. Now I'm embarrassed, but just a little bit. Oh, there must be gold on those lips and honey on those fingertips.
For DIY number 2, we're going to use actually 2 baskets, but we had half of one left over, and you'll see what I mean. I wanted to see if I could cut these baskets in half. I have a special idea in my mind, and I wanted to see if I could make that happen. And just in case you want to try this, these baskets cut really easy. And the way that they are put together, when you do cut them, they don't fall apart. That was my concern, is that it was going to fall apart. I started off with regular scissors, and that was really kind of tough to do. So I pulled out my miter shears, and those miter shears cut it like a piece of cake. So if you want to try this, make sure that you grab some miter shears, and I have them on my Amazon store if you need some. Once I started using the miter shears, it took me literally a minute to cut this right in half. Now, it did give a little bit, a couple crumbles, but that's no problem. You can clean that right up. Then I grabbed one of these little wood pieces that comes from the Crafter Square. It says wood hanging decor, and I'm just going to clip off the little thing here because we're not going to need that. And what I'm going to do is just give it a quick coat of the DIY off-white paint color called beadboard. Now, I had very little bit of this left, so I just painted the front and all the sides because you're never going to see the back. And it only took one coat. DIY paint is clay-based. It's my favorite paint in the whole wide world to use, and it usually only takes one coat. So you actually save money when you buy DIY paint. Now I'm going to take this little wood frame, and I picked it up at Hobby Lobby from the wood pile section. It's normally $1.59, but I get it when it's half off, and so that's only like, what, 80 cents, I believe. And I absolutely love to use these little frames. I'm going to use some of the Waverly Antique Wax, and I'm just going to go all around my little frame, and then I'm just going to wipe off the excess with a baby wipe. I'm going to use some of this gorgeous decoupage paper that my friend Lori sent me from Milton's Daughter. That's where I get all of my supplies for my videos. She has everything at her store, from my paintbrushes to my paint to my IOD mold stamps and transfers. And I will leave the information and her link in the comment section and the description box so she's easy to find. If you use the code CraftyCathy10, she gives you 10% off your first order, and you also build up points for discounts. So what I'm doing is just cutting off the piece that I want here, and when I'm decoupaging, I never have straight edges. And what I do is just take a little bit of water, and I usually just squirt a little bit on my silicone mat, and I use a small brush, and I'm just going around the edges, and I'm going to wet it. And then when you wet it, all you do is just give it a moment to get good and saturated, and then you just kind of tear it off. And it just looks more natural when you tear it as opposed to when it's cut. When it's cut and the edges are perfectly cut square, it just doesn't look right to me. But when you do it this way and you tear it, it just looks so cohesive and it just goes together perfectly. So you see here, when you wet it, it's very easy to go around and just tear the little edges off. Then I'm going to grab some of my DIY liquid patina. It's a lot like Mod Podge, except for it's so much thinner, and I like it a lot better than Mod Podge. It's not goopy and thick. It's just very thin, and it takes very little of this product to work. I'm just going to put a little bit of it all over the surface of this little block, and then I'm just going to lay my decoupage paper right over the top of it. And you'll see I start off right in the very center, and I'm just going to smooth it outward with my fingers. And it's going to give me a perfect seamless finish, and it's not going to have any wrinkles whatsoever. Then I'm just going to take my brush that I used with that antique wax earlier, and all I'm going to do is use what is left on that brush, and I'm just going to go around the edges and very, very lightly just put some on there. We're just trying to make it look a little old and vintagey here and a little worn. And I'm just using my finger, and I'm going to use a baby wipe also just to kind of rub off that excess. And I absolutely love the look that this gives. It gives that old, worn, vintagey look that I love so much. Now I'm going to take this plank hanger that I got from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to assemble all of our pieces. I take my Titebond Quick and Thick once again, and I'm going to flip over that little piece of wood that we just decoupaged, and I'm going to put a pretty good amount of the wood glue all over the back. And I'm also going to use some hot glue. That way it's going to hold on right now. It takes that wood glue a little bit of time to set up, so the hot glue will hold it until then. So what I'm going to do is put my hot glue on there and my wood glue, and I'm going to place it right down in the very center of my plank. Then I'm going to take my little wooden frame that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to do the hot glue and also the wood glue all the way around it, and we're going to stick that right over our little decoupaged wood there. Then I'm going to grab my little 3 half pieces of basket, and I'm going to do the same regimen. I'm going to do the hot glue and also the wood glue, kind of half and half on the sides and the bottom of my little basket, and just place those accordingly on my little plank. And if some of your wood glue just kind of seeps out from the side, just make sure to use your baby wipe and just kind of wipe that off, because it will show on that plank and you definitely don't want that. If you're enjoying this content, I would love for you to give me a big thumbs up. That's the like button, because it really helps push my videos out there to people who've never seen my content before. Also, don't forget to subscribe and become a part of our channel. We would love to have you. And if you would, in the comments below, let me know if you like this type of video and these hacks. I just wanted to put something out there for everybody. I realize that some people may just be starting out in their crafting journey, so I wanted to put something out there for everybody. That way we can all participate. And I hope that everyone enjoys these. And if you're wondering if this plank is sturdy once it dries, this is absolutely sturdy. You can see I can pick it up by the baskets and it's not going anywhere. That Titebond wood glue is some good glue. I took some of this metal ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and then I just cut off 3 pieces. That way I was going to put 1 piece in between each of my baskets, and I made sure that I left just a little bit of an overhang. That way I could wrap it around my sign, and it basically just held on to the sign itself. Since it was metal, you can form it around your plank, but just to be safe, I flipped it over and put just a little bit of hot glue to hold it down. And then to finish my little plank sign up, I took this bush from the Walmart, and it's got little pink berry type ordeals on it. I don't know what it's actually called because I had already cut the tag off of it before I started this DIY. But I just cut them down and placed them in my basket, and I think this turned out so cute. Let me know what you think about this one.
She thinks I'm a little lazy. I think she's a little crazy. We like summer and we like spring, watching wrestling in the ring. She ain't shy, she speaks her mind, tough as nails and smooth as wine. We burn hot as kerosene, baby, we got our own thing. She ain't skinny and I ain't tall, and that don't bother us at all. I run naked through the yard, she'd flash every police car, drinking wine and getting tired, and shooting out the damn street lights. How does she put up with me? Oh, baby, we got our own thing. We got our own thing. We don't need no rain. We ain't rich, but son of a...
Now we're moving right along into DIY number 3. We're going to start off with this little angel candle holder that I got at the thrift store. I only paid 50 cents for it, but I thought that it was exactly what my little basket needed. And I took it outside and I spray painted it with the Rust-Oleum 2 times in the color called Ivory Bisque. This color really brightened it up, and it just created a nice clean look with my little angels. I have a bottle of the antique Waverly wax that is really watered down. It's probably 25% paint and 75% water. And what I'm going to do is just kind of cover over my little angel statue with just a little paintbrush, and then I'm going to use a baby wipe to wipe off the excess. And what that's going to do is get that darker brown wax all inside the cracks, because this has beautiful cracks and crevices, and it's going to create just this older vintage look on this whole piece. Then I'm going to do the exact same thing as before, where I'm going to use half Titebond wood glue and half hot glue all over the top and place my little basket right on the top of the angels. Then I'm going to use this white decorative rope that comes from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to put a little bit of glue all the way around the top and just run my rope all the way around. This is going to cover up that little gap that's between the angels and the basket. And a few weeks ago, when I was working with my molds, my IOD molds, I made these beautiful little molds, and I just felt like I wanted to use one of these on the front of the basket. I picked the beautiful flower, and I took that watered down antique wax and I ran it across it, wiped off the excess with a baby wipe, and then I used my combination of the Titebond wood glue and the hot glue to stick it right on my basket. Then I styled my basket with some beautiful florals, or you can just use it at the front door to toss your keys and change into. I hope you like this one.
Well, I wanna take a ride in the wheelbarrow in your mind. Take me all around to the thinking places where you spend your time. Ain't no place I'd rather go. You're a funny little critter and I love you so, man. I wanna take a ride in the wheelbarrow in your mind. I come and sit down with me in a rocking chair. Coffee pot is nice and hot. We can sit in our underwear. Tell me about the dreams you had last week, swimming all around with the fish in the sea. Come and sit down with me in a rocking chair.
DIY number 4 is an idea I got to go out on the patio. I thought it would be beautiful when we're out swimming late at night. So I've got this beautiful basket in this brown color that I absolutely love. I'm not sure why I didn't get more of those. And I just laid down a piece of saran wrap because we're going to put some sand down, and I didn't want it spilling everywhere. It's still going to spill out a little bit, but it's not really that big of a deal. I just poured about 75% of my bag of sand down in my basket. And I have like a little tea light votive that I picked up at the thrift store for just $0.25. I'm going to plop it right down in the middle, and a little battery operated tea light candle. If you like, you can throw a couple of these little, I'm not sure what they're called, but you get them at Dollar Tree, and they're those little wicker top balls. And then I've got this little starfish that came off of a little trinket from the Dollar Tree, and one of my little molds actually. Now another idea, if you don't want to use that, you could just pull off one of these little solar lights and you can stick it down in the sand and it will stand up by itself. This one has a beautiful little butterfly in it, so whenever the light comes on at night, it shines on that butterfly, and it would be so pretty out at the patio. And that's all there is to this one. Very simple, but it's a cute little idea, and I hope you like it.
Come on, baby, let's fly up to the moon. We can get away for a couple of days or even just an afternoon. They be looking up and we'll be looking down. We can wave to the people in my hometown now. Come on, baby, let's fly up to the moon. Well, I wanna take a ride in the wheelbarrow in your mind.
you're going to need one of those smaller round baskets, and make sure that you get the round one, not the one that's oval, but rounded. It doesn't matter if you get white or black. And then you're going to need a wood round of some type that roughly fits around the top of your basket, the same circumference. And also, we're going to need a candlestick. This one came from the Dollar Tree a year or two ago. So the first thing I need to do is get that word welcome off of my little wood round. And the way that I did that was use my heat gun to heat up the glue, and then this little thingy mabob that I can pop it up with. And it didn't take any time, and it came up very easily. However, it did leave a couple of rough spots, so I took it outside real quick and ran it through the sander. Now, the next thing that I did is grab that Dollar Tree Fix-All, and to me, I think it's better than E6000. It doesn't take much of it, and I just kind of put 4 little globs on my little candlestick, and then in the spots that I didn't put the Fix-All, I put some hot glue. And then we're just going to flip our stuff upside down because it makes it easier to find the center, and we popped it right down on there. Now we're going to work on the basket. You're going to need some type of wood, and you don't need much, so I just got one of these jumbo popsicle sticks that I get from Walmart, and I just cut the tip of it off. You're going to need 2 small pieces. I'm going to stick this bird that I got from the Dollar General on the top of this little makeshift cloche. That's what we're doing. So you put one of the pieces of wood on the bottom of your bird. The other piece of wood is going to be glued to the bottom of your white basket, right in the center. This is going to create an area for that bird to stick onto. You know, just give it some more surface area. I used the Fix-All adhesive and hot glue to put her down. Now, these birds, like I said, come from the Dollar General. They're only $1 and they are gorgeous. But you don't have to use a bird. You can use whatever you have on the top of your little cloche. You can even use a knob if you want. After I had everything glued together, I chose this color by Rust-Oleum 2 times in the color Coastal Sage. I always use Rust-Oleum 2 times, and I try to find the ultra matte. And then I'm going to seal it off with this matte clear. It seals, protects, and revitalizes. And guys, this came out just stunning. I love that color Coastal Sage for the fall.
Well, I wanna take a ride in the wheelbarrow in your mind. Take me all around to the thinking places where you spend your time. Ain't no place I'd rather go. You're a funny little critter and I love you so. And I wanna take a ride in the wheelbarrow in your mind. I come and sit down with me in a rocking chair. Coffee pot is nice and hot. We can sit in our underwear. Tell me about the dreams you had last week, swimming all around with the fish in the sea. Come sit down with me in a rocking chair.
DIY number 2 is super simple, but it's great for organization. You're going to need one of these rectangle baskets like the type you would put paper in, and 2 of these smaller baskets. They usually come in gold. And then you're going to need some of these tie wraps or cable ties, whatever you want to call them. And what we're going to do is take one of the smaller baskets, and you're actually going to set it down inside that larger one here, like I've done. And you're just going to kind of line up the back of it there and use as many of those tie wraps as you want to secure it. But to be honest, I found that 2 of those was very sufficient to keep it really good and snug, and it's not going anywhere. And then you just clip the little ends of your tie wraps off with your wire cutters. That way everything looks nice and neat. Then you're simply going to do the exact same thing with the other basket, except for you're going to put this over the top of that first basket that you connected. And once again, you just use as many tie wraps as you feel comfortable with so that your piece doesn't move at all. And can you imagine the different colors you can do with this? Like, you could use this in a bathroom. There's just so many possibilities and things that you can use for this. I love DIYs that look good and are functional. And just look how pretty it is when I styled it.
She thinks I'm a little lazy. I think she's a little crazy. We like summer and we like spring, watching wrestling and ring. She ain't shy, she speaks her mind, tough as nails and smooth as wine. We burn hot as kerosene, baby, we got our own thing. She ain't skinny and I ain't tall, and that don't bother us at all. I run naked through the yard, she flash every police car, drinking wine and getting tired, and shooting out the damn street lights. How does she put up with me? Oh, baby, we got our own thing. We got our own thing. We don't need no rain. We ain't rich, but son of a, we're a hillbilly king and queen. Life don't seem so hard with you beneath the stars, 'cause we're growing 4-leaf clovers in the yard.
This next one is also functional. It can be used as decor, or you can use it for storage. So what you're going to need is one of these paper towel holders, and those are at the Dollar Tree also. And then we're going to use 2 of the oval shaped baskets. You're going to take one of your baskets and you're going to flip it upside down, and I just kind of placed the top of that paper towel holder kind of on the top of it, and I just used like a small little marker pen and just kind of made a little mark so I kind of know where the middle of it is. And you don't have to be exact on that. If you want to be more exact, you can actually measure that out. But what I did is I made my little mark on both of these, and you see I just made like 2 or 3 little cuts and cut small pieces off. You still want that area that you cut to be kind of small, because we're going to slide these down over the top of our paper towel holder, and if you cut it too big, they're just going to kind of flop around. But if you make it tighter, it's going to hold exactly where you want it to be. Now on the second little basket, I did the exact same thing as I did on the first one. I just cut that very small area out in the center. Then I'm just going to take my little basket and slide it down over the top of the paper towel holder. And if you'll notice, I don't have anything holding it right now, and it pretty much can stay there by itself because I made the hole so small. Now we're going to take some of the tie wraps to make sure that we secure it so it won't move. And this time I chose kind of a medium-sized tie wrap because it's just easier to weave it in and out up there. And the first thing that I'm going to do is secure that top area, and I went around the paper towel holder and also around the little weave in the basket there. I did it on both sides of that paper towel holder, and I also secured it by putting a tie wrap underneath just to go around the paper towel holder. It may be easier to see what I'm doing than to try to explain it. Now, to be honest, it doesn't matter how many tie wraps you put here. You can put as many as you want to make sure that it's secure. And then, of course, you're just going to clip off the little excess because you don't need that. And I feel like right now is a great time to let you know that I would love for you to become a part of our Crafty Kathy family. All you have to do is hit that little red subscribe button beside my name, and then there's a bell beside it. And if you click that bell, there's a word that pops up that says all. And if you click all, YouTube's going to let you know every time that I put out a video. And I would love to have you to subscribe and become a part of our family. Also, if you like this content, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. That's the like button. Now back to the basket. You'll see here that I put a lot of tie wraps on that top part. I just didn't want it to go anywhere. And it all depends on how many, you want to put on there to make sure that it's secure. And also, you don't have to put your basket exactly where I put mine. You can put it further down or even further up that paper towel holder. And you can even have it up at the very tippity top. But I found that when I put mine up at the very top, it was a lot more wobbly. And I just felt like if you go down a little bit like I did, it seemed like it made it a little bit more secure. But then again, I have, about 200 of those tie wraps on there to make sure that it's good and secure. Now, the bottom part, I think I only put about 2 on there because it is sitting on the bottom of that paper towel holder, you'll see. So you really just need to make sure that it don't wiggle around. But I'm pretty sure I just put 2 down there. And then when I was finished with this and cleaned up all the tails on those tie wraps, I took it outside and painted it that coastal sage. And look how beautiful this is. I styled it with some fruit that I found at Target the other day for just $3, but you can put real fruit in there if you want. Just whatever you want to put in your basket.
When your soul is lonely, sad and blue, ain't got no love and shoulders to lean on, there's always a sunny side across the river. Take a ride, take a swim, and all your worries go away. Go cross the river and you'll be fine. Go counting winners, it's right down the line. You'll be alright on the sunny side.
DIY number 4 is very quick and easy, but it turns out gorgeous. We're going to take one of these larger waste baskets. Now, these are really easy to bend and maneuver, so don't think that you just have to use it the way it is. Let me show you what I came up with. I started bending mine, and the way that I started bending it is to kind of start up at the top and use your thumbs to kind of push it out. And then as I was kind of softening that part up, I pushed it down, like straight down. And I did that and pushed it outward at the same time, which kind of made it to where the bottom part is still rounded. But as you'll see, the top part kind of came down over that bottom part, almost like it had a little ledge going around it. And it turned out to look like some sort of a bowl or something. So I just thought, hey, whatever, we'll just go with it and see what we can come up with to style it. Now I straightened mine out the best that I could to keep it rounded, and look at this gorgeous piece that I got at a yard sale today for 50 cents. I didn't even know it, but it came from Hobby Lobby. It still had the Hobby Lobby tag on it, and I didn't even notice it when I bought it. So it sat right down inside my little makeshift bowl perfectly, and I added a beautiful candle. I got these candles off Amazon the other day, and I am in love with them. They're in my Amazon store if you want to go check them out.
I wanna jump around when I think about yesterday. Your smile, your style so fly, my oh my. As time stood still, I got the urge to steal a kiss, and so I did. Now I'm embarrassed, but just a little bit. Oh, there must be gold on those lips and honey on those fingertips.
For DIY number 5, we're going to use another one of the small rounded baskets, and you're also going to need some type of fabric or material of your choice. It really doesn't matter, but you're going to need probably like a fat quarter size of material. Now, I got this material on clearance at Hobby Lobby. Every time I go to Hobby Lobby, I go to the clearance area that's over in the fabrics because you can find all kinds of fabrics at a super low price. Now, I just kind of winged this and did it the best that I could. I laid my basket down, and what I did was I just very lightly made a circle the shape of my basket there on the back side of my fabric, and I cut a couple inches bigger than what that was. Now, my circle by no means is perfect. I simply just needed it larger than the bottom of that basket. Then I laid my fabric down inside my basket, and that's the reason why I made it a little bit larger, because it overlapped the sides just slightly. I'm going to take this jute cord that I get from Walmart, and all I'm going to do is take it and tie it around the top of that basket. Now, this basket has a little lip on the top of it, and where I placed that jute cord is right under that lip. That way it just held on to it exactly where I needed it to. And I went over the front part of it where I had a little bit of excess, and I just cut that off. Anywhere where you have too much excess, you can cut that off. And then I just went around in a couple of spots and put a little dab or two of hot glue, just enough to hold that jute cord up where it's supposed to go at the top of my basket. And then a few months ago, I got these little wood rounds from the Dollar Tree, and I really don't know what they're for except for to put on different types of decor. And I'm going to stick it right in the front part underneath my little bow there. And I pushed the fabric up against it so it would hold on really good. And my plan is to use this in my kitchen to hold all my beautiful chicken's eggs.
I come and sit down with me in a rocking chair. Coffee pot is nice and hot. We can sit in our underwear. Tell me about the dreams you had last week, swimming all around with the fish in the sea. Come and sit down with me in a rocking chair. Couple days or even just an afternoon. They're looking up and we're looking down. We can...
I hate to say that this one is our last DIY, but guys, if you really like these basket ideas, I have a million more. We're going to use one of the small round baskets and this large jute cord that I get off of Amazon. It's in my Amazon store if you need some, this exact size, but it's also the same size of the one that you get from the Dollar Tree. Now, what I had to do here was I laid the basket down, and I'm just lightly putting some glue on the rope, and I'm going to do that because that way it's going to be easier for it to stick to the basket. And that's also the reason why I'm leaving it flat down, because I want it to be exactly even with the bottom part of that basket. Now I went all the way around my basket, and every few little inches I put a little bit more of glue, and I didn't put a whole bunch because I don't want it kind of coming out the sides, you know. And I'm just going to put it all around that bottom part. Then when I get to the second row, I'm just going to go right up over that first one that I did, and then I'm going to start gluing the rope onto the rope. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on that rope that's on the bottom and then lay the next layer right on top of it. That way our rope is perfect. And I did this all the way up my basket. And after I got done with that first go round down there at the bottom, then I didn't have to put so much glue. After you do that first one, you can just put glue kind of here and there where you need it at. And here I'm pointing out that I stopped at the very top in the same spot where I started down on that first row down there. And that way I know that that's going to be the back part of my basket, because that part, you know, is got that little indentation down at the bottom. But I fixed that by just putting a little bit more glue and gluing it down together. Now this makes for a gorgeous basket, y'all. I made sure that I got my lighter and burned off all those fuzzies. And just be careful when you're doing this, because of course you are working with fire. But you know what? I burned mine for a long time and my craft studio is still standing. So I guess that says something. Now I grabbed one of these little tags from the Dollar Tree and I'm writing the word sock graveyard. You know, the socks that always end up in your dryer and they don't have a mate. I don't know how that happens, but anyways, so I'm just going to use this basket in my laundry room for that reason. That way, whenever somebody comes back and says, hey, this sock don't have a match, I'll know exactly where the other one went to, unless the dryer actually has been eating them all this time. And guys, once again, don't forget to hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed to our family. Right now, my videos are every Monday and Thursday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And I sure don't want you to miss a single one. Make sure you click that bell and hit the word all so that YouTube's going to let you know when I put my videos out. And thank you so much for watching this video and sticking with me. If it's a baby, don't lick on that. We don't lick on it. No, we don't touch it like that. Nope, 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 nope. Well, we got the old girls here. Guess what they're after? The flock party mealworms. $45 for a bag of worms, y'all. But they love them. They also eat what comes out of the pool. Because anytime there's bugs in the pool and I use the net to get the bugs out, they come running when they hear that net click. I'm trying to open it, but I'm having to do it one-handed, Retta. You could help me, bud. Ugh, look at that. Ooka. They smell like corn chips, y'all. It's what they smell like. It's corn chips. It's so bad.
It's just so bad because they smell like corn chips. Them smell like corn chips.
People ask me, don't she bite your hand? Sometimes, but she's not purposely biting it, but she pecks it. It kind of tickles sometimes, and every once in a while she'll really snap it, buddy. Yeah, my girl, Loretta. The one that's eating out of my hand, that's my baby girl right there. If something happens to her, y'all, I'm done. She's a chicken, I know, but I love her.
And that's my mini pearl.
Here, let me throw them. Okay, I got you some more.
That's my mini pearl.
See, Minnie's a little skittish. Loretta's not skittish. That's my girl. She'll stop and bend. She like bows down and lets you pet her. It's so strange. It's like she bows. I can't explain it. And I doubt she'll do it right now because she's eating her mealworms, but let me see if she will. Let's see. If I come in this way, she might do it.
She might do it if I go this way. Nope, she's not going to do it. Not going to do it. Say not going to do it. Nope, not in the mood. I don't want to be petted.
Look at Minnie's fat butt. She's a hoss, man. You can tell these girls eat very well. Look how fat she is. This one over here. That's Minnie. Got my Loretta right there. They're Plymouth Rock hens. I've had them since 2017, so that makes them almost 6 years old. They're at the age now to where they're really slowing down on their egg production. If they lived on a chicken farm, somebody would throw them out by now. I mean, you know, get rid of them, literally. But these girls are going to live out their days here with Mama, and they're going to have a good life if I have anything to do with it. And then Emo, I'm not sure where she's at, probably hiding. She'll come around later. Minnie, your crawl is full, girl. Whatever they eat in the daytime ends up almost in their neck. It's a crawl. It's where their food goes and stays, and then it very slowly filters down to their belly. You can tell Minnie's a hog because her crawl is huge, and then in the evening when it's time to go and roost, it usually goes down. But that's my baby girls.